You are on your feminine journey. You are doing everything that you can to elevate and be better. Welcome to part 2 of 5 tips to being more feminine. I am so excited for today's video because I'm going to be giving you 5 ways to develop in your feminine journey and just be more feminine from the inside out. You guys really loved my first video, so I wanted to make a second video, 5 more tips about how to become the best feminine version of yourself. And it's a journey. It's something that it's a continuous work. It's something that requires you going deep within, and that is one thing that I want to say is anyone who's on their feminine journey, you can wear all the dresses that you want, you can paint your nails the nicest colors, you can talk in like the sweetest, nicest voice, but it doesn't matter if you haven't taken care of what's on the inside. I will be your BFF to tell you this is how you're going to increase your femininity on your journey, and these are great things and tangible things to work on. First line of order, the first thing that you want to do is to heal your traumas. Now, if you're someone who doesn't know if they have traumas, or maybe you don't have trauma, that is perfectly fine. Skip this part. But if you are someone who was a product of divorce, you had a really hard upbringing, you had a traumatic physical thing happen to you at a certain age, that is trauma. That is something that you carry on your person. And the reason that it's really important in your feminine journey to heal your traumas is because trauma is a weight. It is luggage. It is something that you carry with you and you bring everywhere you go. And part of being your best feminine self is being your lightest self emotionally. You do not want your past to curate your present or curate your future. So we want to get rid of those traumas immediately. The first line of order for getting rid of trauma is to identify it. If you are someone who hasn't even self-evaluated yet, let's start there. Let's look at things that you haven't even thought of to look at in your past. I'm personally even going through this right now. I'm working with an acupuncturist and he's asking me all about my past. Like, did something happen in college? Did something happen in your upbringing? And I'm forced to face the things that I didn't even think was trauma. I didn't think my parents' divorce was trauma, but now when I look back at it, the feelings that that little girl felt, I carry that on me to this day. And so it's an unpacking of those feelings because it just feels lighter. Talk to your parents, talk to your grandparents, connect with your relatives. If you have bad blood in your family, like work on these things on yourself, with your family, however you need to, with a therapist, with God. Start working on your traumas. No one else should have to carry the weight that you're carrying. So when you want to be that light feminine version of yourself, you need to just get rid of these traumas. You need to identify them and you need to work on healing them. This will make you good for yourself, which will make you even better for the partner that you want to find or the partner that you currently have. Number 2 on your feminine journey is you're going to get a hobby. Get a hobby. Are you passionate about something? A lot of people don't have time for hobbies and passions these days, it seems, or it's just not as common. So make it a priority. Make it something that you focus on. Find something, whether it's painting, whether it's wellness, whether it's talking to people. Find a hobby or a passion outside of your line of work that you like to focus on and you like to do in your spare time. You may be asking, Deandra, how does this make me a better feminine version of myself? Well, what it does is it gives you excitement, it gives you love, and it gives you something to focus on outside of a man. I think a lot of people tie femininity to being with a masculine partner. In a lot of ways, it does work that way, but being feminine independently and having things that you're passionate about before a man comes or before anything is the key. Even when you do have a partner, you need to have something outside of your partner that you can focus on because that takes all of the load off of you and decenters that man from your life. Hobbies help you to explore your feelings independently. They help you learn more about yourself. It is something that could eventually even turn into your life's mission, your life's goal, which is so beautiful as a feminine woman, like being able to be passionate about something. People love passionate people. So just having something outside of your job and outside of your partner to work on, to get better, to explore yourself, let it be a hobby. Number 3 is going to seem like a very obvious one, but accept and love being a woman. There's a lot of discourse over what being a woman is and, you know, how women are supposed to feel and being tough and being all of these things that, you know, women weren't necessarily built to be. I've said this before, but men and women are not the same. We are not built the same. We have very sensitive hormones. They don't. They can take a lot more pressure from the world. We can't physically. We're not supposed to physically. I'm sure that we can. And we see a lot of hormonal imbalances happening right now for a lot of females. Accept and love being a woman and what comes with being a woman. Acceptance is the first step in just knowing that we are meant to be the softer vessels. We are meant to be caring and loving naturally. That comes to us naturally. And if you're here watching this video, you probably accept and love and care about being a woman, but sometimes it's about rethinking that. Like, what is does it mean to be a woman to you? How do you feel most confident in being a woman? Don't be sad because you're emotional. Women are emotional. We have emotions. We are very caring, loving creatures to begin with. Primally, we are emotional beings, and that's perfectly fine. There's a difference between being an emotional being and being emotionally immature. Those are two separate things. Being in tune with your emotions is a very feminine thing. We go through a lot of phases in the month. We have a lot of feelings. We have to take on a lot, and it's okay to have emotions and being able to convey your emotions not only to the world but to people in your workplace. Being able to come from a loving place, that is what being a woman is. Being a woman is being strong in all of the places that men are weak, and vice versa. Like, it's this flow of yin and yang. Really loving and being a woman is understanding that you don't have to be a man. We don't have to go head to head with men. We do not have to be good at every single thing men are good at, because we are really good at things that they are not good at. And it's this flow of energy. So don't be frustrated when you're not getting your way, when you're acting like men, even in the workplace. Try acting like a female in the workplace and empowering yourself that females can do just as good of a job in their own unique way. You don't have to yell to get your way. You don't have to be that hard person to get your way. You don't have to move through this life feeling like if I imitate a man, I should be able to get everything a man gets. You should be able to act like a female and act like the beautiful, amazing woman that you are, and know that you can get everything that you want because you're that amazing, beautiful female. And number 4, this one is understanding that dating has changed a lot recently. I've noticed it. There's a lot of discourse about it. It seems that there is a shift in the way that a lot of men treat women, a lot of ways that women treat men. So dating is really different and unique, but I feel like it all still comes back on yourself. Like, when you are dating, you have to look at yourself. Being a feminine woman is about understanding that there is no one to blame in any situation. What do I mean by this? I was raised by an African family. My dad is African, so I feel like a lot of the traditional values that he has for dating and courting and courtship and going on dates, and, you know, a man should call you first and text you first, like, these aren't the things that you might get in modern day dating if you're dealing with the wrong people. Not every man understands these principles, and not every man follows these principles. So you need to get really clear on what you want from dating, what you want from men, what you want, and your expectations. That is where you should be operating from. You should never be operating from what someone else wants, because we all want different things. So for you, if being feminine, being your soft self, is finding a man who has a protector and provider mentality, then you should have that, and you should be only dating people who have that equal mentality. I'll give an example. Some women will get into situations with a man because they love that man and they've attached themselves to that man romantically, but that man stresses them out. They're worried about what this man is doing. This man is not texting back on time. This man, you know, isn't nice to my family. That is putting you in a place of stress, and you cannot be your best feminine self in a place of stress. This man is literally stressing you out. So you have to look at a situation like that and think, there's no one to blame. You cannot blame that man for stressing you out. That is who he is, and we cannot change people. So in situations when it comes to dating, the only person that you can blame for dating someone who is a detriment to you and your physical is yourself. It's about stepping away from situations, or no longer dealing in situations where you feel like your needs are not being met. This also comes with confidence. You have to be confident that if I'm dealing with a person and I feel like it's not up to my standard, or I feel like I can't be my most authentic, loving, soft self because I have to be this defensive, hard self because I'm lacking a lot in this relationship, but I love them, then you should leave. You are capable of getting everything that you want, and you don't have to fight to get what you want from a person who repeatedly isn't giving it to you. Ultimately, that goes to say your relationships are on you. Every single person is an individual, and they choose whether or not they want to be in a situation. So if you feel like dating is hard and a lot of men aren't doing what you want them to do not date those kinds of men, and be patient until you do meet a man who gives you what you want off the bat, without you having to mold him, without you having to change him. If you're in a relationship where you feel like you have to be the masculine because you're always on defense, you're always kind of stressed out, you're wondering what they're doing, they're lacking in a lot of areas, and you feel like you're having to overcompensate for them, you need to independently move or pivot. And if you don't know how to do that, you need to learn how to pivot, and you need to learn how to move, or you need to learn how to communicate your needs. If you communicate your needs and they're still not met, then it's on you to leave a situation like that and put yourself back in the most healed, loving, calm space. Outside of this whole feminine journey, a lot of this is about healing your inside and actually just being in a place of homeostasis within our body. The number one stressors in our life come from our life partners, our workplace, our health, those three big pillars of our life. So you cannot intentionally pick a place where it is throwing your actual hormonal system, your stressor system, your sleep system off. You have the choice to move or pivot, and that's about loving yourself enough, being in your feminine enough to understand I'm owning this and this is on me, so I'm removing myself from the situation for the betterment of my own self. Number 5, and the last one that I will do today, is be aware of what you ingest. This is not what you put in your mouth, what you put in your body. I mean by what you watch, what you hear. I think that I've noticed the biggest difference in my life when I switch the kind of music that I'm consistently listening to and the kind of movies and shows and people that I listen to. You cannot be on your feminine journey or feel like your softest self when you're listening to City Girls and Meg Thee Stallion and they're telling you to be hard on them hoes and treat these men like women and run through them. I love Meg Thee Stallion. I love a good city girl bop when the time and place calls for it. But if you're waking up first thing in the morning and that is what you're putting in your system and that is what you're putting in your body, you will start to treat people like that. I think the best empowerment self thing that you can do is start listening to things about love. Start listening to stuff that is going to calm you. I wake up, I listen to bossa nova. There's a whole bossa nova playlist on iTunes. You can download it, or you listen to classical music, or you listen to something softer. Ariana Grande. I never used to listen to Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift because I was like, it's boring. Like, it doesn't get me hyped. But it's so much better to wake up and feel calm listening to these things than to wake up and have that hard music, that rap music that is telling you, go into the streets and do this and F that person and F this person. It's great. The tunes are amazing. Love them. I love to jam out when the time and place calls. But if you're waking up every single day and listening to that kind of stuff, how do you think you're going to be acting? What kind of men do you think you're going to be attracting? Just think about it. I don't think that these are bad people. I don't think that they're intentionally spreading bad messages, but you have to be careful of what you ingest because everything is meant to sell. Everything is meant for you to be addicted to, and you have to be decisive. You have to be in control of what you put into your body, what you put into your spirit, and what you put into your soul. And I feel this so much because, again, when people were like, don't listen to Drake all the time, I was like, I like Drake. And I still to this day like Drake, but I am not trying to listen to Drake at every workout. I'm not trying to listen to Drake first thing in the morning. I'm listening to Drake when I'm getting pumped up maybe to go to brunch and have a few drinks, whatever. That is not something that I'm trying to listen to every single part of my day. I'm not putting the headphones on and listening to it while I'm working. I'm putting on something soft, something that has good lyrics to it, something that has a good message behind it, because that's what you ingest. Also with movies, same thing goes for movies. I used to be the biggest horror film. I still love horror, but I used to be watching it all the time. And when I tell you, it was stressing me out. I was stressed. I was pressed. I wouldn't like to go to sleep by myself. I became very dependent on people because I always had to have people around, because subconsciously I was like, there is someone in the closet. Being feminine is being in a calm, neutral space. So be so careful what you ingest. Everything that you listen and everything that you watch shapes you. So decide what is going to shape you. I don't want to talk y'all's ear off, but I love these videos. I have so much fun doing these videos, and I feel like it's so important to share what I've learned and what I feel like is working for me and the person I'm becoming. So if you guys love these videos and you want to hear more, don't forget to like and comment below and let me know what you liked, what you felt resonated with you, and what you want to hear in the next video. I got you guys, and I hope that you love this video, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.